Hey, we learned something today. We learned that yes, it does unmute you once it does its automatic countdown or the 30-second countdown. The crows are mad.
Very angry.
They're Republicans today. The crows are mad that we're still talking about this thing that happened in Texas. Like guys, move on already. You know? Like, Susan, why are we even still talking about this?
I don't even
It was
know.
it was more than 48 hours ago.
Exactly.
I mean, we stopped talking about Buffalo in at least like 36 hours. So, so, like, what exactly is going on, America? Have you learned nothing from the past?
Apparently not.
So the answer to that is no.
Yeah.
But because Russ is, how do I sound?
You sounds good.
All right, sounds good. Because Russ is here, thank you, Russ. I am going to let you know something because 2 years ago, seemingly, well, it wasn't quite 2 years ago, was it? But a year and a half ago, sure, let's call it that. Russ saw that we were putting together the Lego Millennium Falcon. And he said, y'all need to do a time lapse of you building that. And then I don't care how long it is, I will sit down and watch it. Remember that?
Yes.
That's what he said.
I remember that. Can confirm.
So good news, Russ. We have 7 hours of footage for you. You said you'd be there for the whole thing.
Whole last thing.
So it's an hour, not 7. But I mean, come on. This is America. I can stretch the truth.
Exactly.
I can lie about this. It's an hour long. It is not the entire thing because I guess that would be over 2 hours. But it's from, I think it is from step 7 all the way to step 18.
Something like that.
In a time lapse. I think that's what it is. It is over an hour. And I have begun, you can ask Susan, writing the script for the audio that is going to overlay. It's going to be background audio while it is playing this, putting it together for an hour. Because that was the thing, right? My mustache on the one side keeps going down. It's like right here, and it keeps moving down. I should have put some product in it. I have it. I have product.
Can confirm.
And so for the longest time, it was like, what kind of? It's going to have background audio. Otherwise, it's just going to be, and you don't want to put just like, music and stuff like that in there and all of this stuff, right? So what are you going to do? And we were like, I was like, okay, we have the last video on the Lucan census. We have all this other stuff. And then I figured it out and I already started writing the script for it. So it is very soon. And it will be me talking in the background. So here's what you can do. You can just mute me and just watch the video. Or this gives you an opportunity also if you don't want to and you don't care about watching somebody put a Lego set together. First off, shame on you. You can listen to it like it's a podcast and you don't have to watch the video.
Yeah.
So there you go. You can see your blurry self in the background.
Yeah.
I do like that the software is trying to figure out if you're a person. It is because it keeps like flickering with this. So
it's only when you have your hand up next to your mic.
Oh, okay. So
otherwise, no.
So there you go, Russ. A little tidbit for you. A little bit of just gonna sprinkle that in there for you. Now, on to less important. I don't know. Turns out, we're not going to do anything about this. In case anybody wonders, in case in your mind, you're thinking, hey, maybe this is the time. Maybe with the second school shooting at an elementary school, maybe Or I guess it was in elementary. Yeah, maybe this is the time we'll do something. I have sad news to report. Beto can't fix everything.
What?
He can mend a broken heart. He can make wives like him more than their husbands, make other partners, regardless of their gender and sexual orientation, like him more than anybody else.
That's true. You like Beto more than you like me.
It's true, still do. And like Beto more than I do Obama.
Yeah.
Then why you gotta go say things like that? Sorry, Barack. You're still my top 5-ish president. You're in the top 5, buddy. Thanks for all the stuff you did for gun control. President 44. Now, fair, balanced. You did less harm to it than the guy that came after you. So that's good. Low bar, but good. Good for you. The and again, I love how the camera can track.
Yeah.
I have the software built as well so that it makes my eyes look like I'm always looking at the camera. I just don't use it. It is really trying. The Wi-Fi. I like how it says Wi-Fi, and we're definitely hardwired in. So that was weird. We are definitely hardwired in. Don't know. But it is the sad state of affairs in which we live that A, our internet is shoddy, and B, that we are not going to do anything about this at all. We are going to be upset about this for a week, maybe 2. The president is going there on Sunday. We're still celebrating the fact that the police waited for an hour to go and do anything, because it is Police Appreciation Week. Let's not forget about that. Senator and former presidential candidate Amy Klobuchar from Minnesota let us know that she said, fuck them kids, is what she said. I believe those were her exact words. She said, fuck Black lives, and she said, fuck them kids. Go police officers. Apparently what she meant by that was fuck them kids and also go police officers and hide, and then also like basically tear gas parents who are trying to come and save their children while you hide from them and go and save your own kids. I think that's what she meant with her Police Appreciation Week. Right? I'm fairly certain that is that's in writing. Need to put that down, sign it. Senator Amy Klobuchar, the wannabe progressive Senator Klobuchar. But I guess that she's somehow better than the guy who shares the name with my second favorite Ninja Turtle. Raphael was like the best Ninja Turtle, by the way. He was the guy that was like, we are going to do street justice. And he was like, look, I don't know what y'all are doing. Michelangelo, you're going to get fat. You ain't trying to exercise. Leonardo always trying to be like, I'm the leader or whatever. He ain't Optimus, right? Raphael was like, also Donatello, thank you very much, Q, for giving us all these cool things. Half of them don't work. Also, I have size. Don't really know how that like works against guns, but whatever. He's like, I have a turtle shell. Whatever, dude. But he's my favorite. He's my second favorite, but he's like the number one in my heart. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I always thought I was more like Donatello, smarter.
can see that.
More of a inventing things to help and not really kind of like getting in the way kind of guy. You know, I'm basically like the police. I'm going to like, say that I'm here to help you and then let you die. Right? But now there, it, at least they weren't out actively murdering unarmed black men. They were just letting kids die. So they weren't murdering, but they were allowing children to die for almost an hour.
Unless it was their own kids.
While purposefully getting in the way of parents. And if you must have pissed somebody off because they left. Good. Parents who, if you have not seen this video, trigger warning, there's a video on the internet. I'm not going to play it here, partially because I don't have it pulled up. It was recorded by a person, I believe is a parent at the school there in Uvalde, in which the parents were pleading with the police to, for once in their pathetic lives, to go and actually do something. For once, prove to us that you're not a cab. You know what the police said? Because while Amy Klobuchar did not outright say, fuck them kids, and she didn't outright say, fuck George Floyd, the police did. The police said, we're afraid of getting shot. I'm not lying about that. I'm not being hyperbolic. That's what actually they said. That they were afraid of getting shot. They didn't have a problem pepper spraying parents and tackling one parent to the ground and holding him face down on the concrete while he may have been the parent of somebody who was still in one of those classrooms. Because, I mean, priorities here, folks. Important stuff. The important part of that was being able to protect and serve by putting this guy's face into the concrete while he is yelling and begging and screaming for the cops to go and actually do something, which they are, as we know, fucking incapable of doing. It's not an opinion. We have fact. Oh, well, let me just not quite, Nathaniel. That's not quite true. They are capable of doing things. They are. Already mentioned, they are just elite when it comes to murdering unarmed black men. They are top of the line. They are the Navy SEALs of police brutality. If you don't believe me, feel free to watch the television show, the wildly popular television show, 2020, What Happened All Fucking Year. If you want to know about 2020, by the way, all the MAGA folks who are like Blue Lives Matter, who also are saying fuck them kids, by the way, will tell you all about how Portland is, first off, apparently a state, and then secondly, how we literally burned it to the ground. Not being hyperbolic. It's what they say. And the police are, I would say, even better. You see, for them, they have to go and like find an unarmed black man, right? Or an unarmed black man who is running away from them. They have to find that, or a person who is in distress and needs help. They have to go and find that so that they can kill them. Or they can shoot at them and wound them. And they're good at that. Just, so good at that. But that takes, that's pretty, that one, as good as they are at it, they have to go find that. They are super elite, like you Guile in Street Fighter, elite level at beating the shit out of peaceful protesters. That one, oh man, they are actually. I don't know which one they're better at. Are they better at assaulting peaceful protesters, or are they better at letting children in a school die because they're afraid of getting shot? Both are not on equal ground. One is easily worse than the other. But which one are they better at? We know they ran away. It's funny. With peaceful protesters, they know. We're peaceful. We're not armed. They know they can hit us and shoot us with non-lethals. They know they can do that. And they don't care. They do it with impunity. They are immune to consequence. But here's the... Hey, Maya, here's the thing. Or if you will, here's the deal. 0% of those police officers or sheriff's deputies or DPS or anybody who was there 2 days ago will face any type of retribution. They'll face no consequences for letting children die. And then stopping parents from going in there and pepper spraying them and tackling to the ground and pressing their face against the concrete and saying, we don't want to get shot, and going in and getting their own fucking children before, again, hiding like little bitches they are. Here's a question for you. Susan, what is the number one thing that they say that right now we should focus on? We talked about it earlier.
Mental health?
Mental health.
Yeah.
Right? So I have a question for you.
Yes.
Mental health, right?
Yes.
That's the narrative, right?
Right.
Were those cops like scared of mental health or something? Because it seems like they were scared of the gun.
Yeah.
It seems like they weren't scared of mental health. They were scared of getting shot, which, okay, I feel that.
Yeah.
I do. I understand. I would rather not be shot as well. But it is, there's something different between me and the cops. First off, I'm not a piece of shit. So there's that. But also that I understand that if I was a police officer, which no, my job would be to, I believe, protect and serve. I think that's the number one on there is protect. And number two is serve. Right? So protect. Who exactly are we protecting? Police in Texas, Department of Public Safety, Department of Save Your Own White Kids and then hide like little bitches because they're not unarmed protesters that you can hit with gas, like actual tear gas, and that you can literally throw down in the streets because nobody's going to care because we're protesting for Black lives. I guess it was just all mental health you were scared of. Like it must be the mental health. Huh. Are we sure that the kid didn't play Call of Duty? Like, because I feel like we should talk to Activision about that. I feel like somebody else probably makes the game now, but last I remember it was Activision.
I have no idea.
Right? Huh. Wonder if he was playing Wolfenstein. You know, there's Nazis in that game.
It's true. It's true.
Huh. They hid. And they were wearing body armor, right? And they had assault weapons on them. You could just, yeah. Just, you know, you could see it. They've got it around their shoulders, standing there. And instead of going and doing their jobs, the department that receives far and away the most funding in every city, sure, but in Uvalde, hid. Not like children, because children wouldn't hide like that. We know that because we know what they said. We have their quotes from 2 days ago for what they were doing and how they were trying to help their friends who had been shot. Kids who should never have been in this situation did something. But the cops who were there to protect the children did what they always do. Nothing helpful. And this is actually the opposite of nothing helpful. This is like when Spider-Man, right? Spider-Man said, when you have the ability to stop a bad person or somebody that wants to do bad things and you choose not to, when bad things happen, you are also to blame. It's not your fault that he went in there and murdered children. It's not your fault. You didn't do that. But you are definitely to blame for how long he stayed in there. And you are definitely to blame for doing nothing when in that same video, we can hear him shooting his weapon. You are to blame for not being there. The one time you were actually there and could actually stop something while it was happening, you ran and you hid. Because of course you did. Because you're not good people. You know, I thought, and then yesterday, my former boss, he's in the news again. Whenever Beto is in the news, you just know that it's something funny.
Oh yeah.
You just know that he's pissed off Republicans.
Yep. It's great.
The reason I worked for him, there's a reason that I would go and work for him again. Susan knows that. And I also, my favorite thing was seeing him, you know, be Beto. And if you can be anything in life, you should be Beto. Yesterday was not a political stunt. Let me just point that out for you real fast. Let me pause real quick here and show this from I can't actually pronounce your username. I apologize. But is this live? Yes, it is. As I said before, I'm an immigrant, but I cannot believe Americans put up with this. The passion that you wrote this with is not being conveyed in how I am reading it. I never really used guns before, but a friend of mine literally tried to just give me some of his guns. Americans have so many guns, I can't believe it. We have 400 million guns.
Yeah.
There's 330 million people that live here. But what Beto O'Rourke did to yesterday was not a political stunt. I know that because, again, I know him. And also because, remember 2 years ago, in his hometown of El Paso, a person drove from Dallas to El Paso, which is a long drive, quite a long drive. So he definitely had time to reconsider, and he didn't. And he murdered people inside of a Walmart. And at that time, Beto was, in my opinion, unwisely running for president. And what he did was, he stopped, or he paused his campaign, and he went home. He didn't take any donations. He directed them all to organizations to help the families and to fight gun violence. And while he was there, he made a point to say that the previous president stoked these fears and this white supremacy. And then he looked at the media and very eloquently, in my opinion, said, members of the media, what the fuck? Like, you know the answers to these questions, but you're still asking them. Go and actually ask questions. You know what this is. And then he says, and Susan has this shirt. He said, this is fucked up. And then
wore that shirt to work yesterday.
Yeah. And he went on CNN, and CNN asked him, it said, is this really your stance? And he said, yeah, because this is fucked up. Like, those were his words. She did wear that shirt to work yesterday. She works at a school. So this hits, it's very personal for us. And of course, Beto is, and this is something that I mentioned, 2 days ago when I was on, that he said that, hell yes, we're going to take your AR-15. And at that point, the Democrats decided that he was completely unelectable. But he never backed down from that. And he didn't back down from it this week either. In fact, the bumper sticker that I, for some reason, have never put on my car, it says Beto has a ban for that. It's in the living room.
It is. I found it.
Yeah. And yesterday, by the way, there are, and I mentioned this to Susan earlier today, there are a ton of ways to be able to insult Greg Abbott. Trust me, I know. Please, first off, do it. Secondly, when you do, do not make ableist comments. He doesn't deserve anything positive at all. But ableism is not the way. So just a little note there. But so yesterday, whenever Texas Governor Greg Abbott, and again, person who stole the name of definitely like the best overall Ninja Turtle, and he's also the senator in Texas, and I guess let's see, who is it? Ken stole a pen and is now indicted.
I mean, it doesn't have to do with the pen.
No, although it should have. And
securities fraud, I think.
And all of them were there and giving platitudes, saying the same thing over and over again. After Santa Fe, after the Santa Fe high school shooting, they said this: we'll do everything we can to make sure this never happens again, and turned around and loosened their gun laws even more. Wanted to go there and give their heartfelt, "Oh, our thoughts and prayers are with you." And so my former boss showed up, and I was like, because here is a something for you. Beto is not favored in the upcoming gubernatorial election, which is all right. But he is the most popular person in the state. And he decided to go there. And Gary isn't even from here. He, in my opinion, unfortunately, doesn't go here. But Beto showed up. And he said, "Governor Abbott, I'd like to have a conversation with you." And I was like, wanted this to happen. And immediately, "You're out of line. Oh shit! You're the reason that this happens," is what somebody told him. I believe it was the mayor of Uvalde, right? The mayor of Uvalde, who had gone on to Tucker Carlson, right? T.U. Carlson. Again, have to ensure that whenever we say his name, we include the 3 Ks that are in the beginning. It's important. And stood up and told Beto O'Rourke that the reason that mass shootings happen is because of him. And I forget all of the cuss words they said to Beto, who, by the way, notorious cuss man, who said, "I'm not going to stop cussing because I'm so good at it." Beto stood there while they got in his face.
Yep.
"Oh, you're real brave today, aren't you there, Mr. I'm going to hide like a little bitch-ass motherfucker when I can go save kids, but I'm going to hide behind this truck right here. I'm going to hold my AR-15 while I go, oh no, there's bullets over there." You're really brave when you get to point fingers in the face of Beto O'Rourke, who actually wants to do something to hold you accountable. Really cute how you're really brave when you're standing up there. That's cute. But everybody's like, I got the photo of them pointing at him and he's just standing there.
Yeah.
Right? He's like,
it's very much like, the photo of the young Black woman she's wearing that long flowing dress and she's got the cops that are like in her face.
Yep.
It gives me that energy.
You know the kind of energy it gives me?
What?
Tiananmen Square.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I understood there. Yeah. And then that was almost my favorite part of that entire interaction. But I have a favorite part. I do. So Beto left. He didn't leave. He left the room and went outside. And you know what's funny? The cameras followed him. Mm-hmm. He went outside and he started laying into them.
Yep.
And he did it in English and he did it in Spanish.
Goddamn fucking right.
And then they asked him, "Oh yeah, well, what would you do?" And Beto was like, 1, 2, 3, 4, motherfuckers. He did. This is, and this, and here's a stat for you, and this, and this, and this. Mm-hmm. And he had it.
He brought receipts.
Yeah. The man Did things change with him? Yes. Things changed with him. His view on guns changed. I know what he said in 2018. I do. I'd hope I know. But he had something that changed him. Violence that could have been prevented in his hometown. Sometimes it needs to hit home like that. But it actually changed him. And he has not once wavered on that. He's running for governor in Texas. There are more guns in Texas than people.
That's true.
That's 30 million, by the way.
Yeah.
And in Texas, he's running on this. He is, see, this is the thing too, is that he's not running on this. This is a platform position for him. It is.
Mm-hmm.
It is a position that he has taken. It is something that is on his website. It is something that he definitely has he has a ban for, right? But it's also something that says something about the man. Democrats said in 2019 that makes him unelectable. I don't think that he fucking cares. If it made him unelectable and he was any other politician who actually has a chance in Texas, don't you think he would have stopped? Did it again. Did it again. And I'm not even Wi-Fi. It's hardwired. But
that's weird.
But it's not a political stunt for him.
No.
It's not. He speaks about this change because I remember in 2018, very specifically, when he would talk about, and this is the exact same voice, is the exact same tone and tenor, when he would talk about the need for healthcare in Texas and that it doesn't make sense and it has to change because the people with the easiest access to healthcare in the state, it should not be that those who are incarcerated are those that are the only ones that have access to healthcare. Everybody should have access to health. You shouldn't have to go to jail to get access to healthcare. Right? He speaks about this because he understands, at least in my opinion, that healthcare saves lives and that everybody should have access to it and that guns kill and we have to fucking do something about it. Ain't never gonna end, Gary. That's the thing. Well, Susan and I were talking about this. It can't end. And how did Ted Cruz respond? Good old Ted Cruz. I do declare. Ted Cruz, that was a really bad impression. Ted Cruz said, and also I think Dan Patrick followed this up. This is like actually something that they're kind of like holding on to for some reason. Make it one door. I'm glad the camera followed me here because one door. right?
Didn't he say like, oh, look at banks, look at airports. There's limited access to those places. Motherfucker, you flew to Cancun during a fucking statewide crisis. You know what airports look like.
Yep. Not only that, guess he's never seen security at airports.
Right.
But let's I mentioned this the other day too. And they're like, yeah, well, my kid goes to school. This is somebody on Twitter, so probably doesn't actually exist. Right? My kid goes to school. They have people who walk the grounds and they're armed and they're security. And I was like, I am not going to send my kids to a fucking prison.
No.
Because you want to make it so that there is one entrance and one exit. You know what we call that in the military? You know what we call that, Susan?
Certain death.
A choke point.
Yeah.
That is a choke point. That is, what are there, 535 students? There were. Let that sink in for a second. It's like 500. Let's do a different school. Actually, let's do a small school in the Midwest. I don't know. There are, let's say it's K-12, right? Mm-hmm. In a building, and there's 200 students altogether. So there you go. All right. So let's do that, and let's make them all run through the same door while there is an active shooter. How many of them do you think survive? 10?
Maybe. If that. They're sitting ducks.
It's not a solution.
No.
Yeah, Braylon says it very well. If they don't get shot, they're going to get trampled. Yep.
And Braylon also said triangle shortwaves fire, which that's just another example of why having one access point is a fucking terrible idea.
If you didn't hear Susan, she echoes your sentiments.
You can sort of hear me.
Okay, good. She has earbuds on back there. Well, she may sound hollow, but her sentiment is not.
Oh, love you.
No one has just set a building on fire and shot people as they came out. Oh, Susan can talk on this.
We had a lockout drill literally a week before. On Tuesday, May 17th. We had a lockout drill. And lockout drills are different than lockdown drills. Lockout drills are just if there's somebody around campus, not necessarily on campus or just around campus. We basically tell everybody, go ahead and get inside. You don't have to hide and turn off the lights and stuff, but you do have to lock doors and make sure that people can't get in. Lockdown drills, we do actually have to be quiet.
And, X says kids do shooter drills at school. And I was listening to you a little bit earlier today while I was, it was earlier today. You're playing Minecraft. And by the way, apparently you have extra room. I've never played the game a second in my life. There's sometimes I probably should. And so if you ever want anybody to play with, and I've never played. I don't have the game.
Wait, what
Minecraft.
Oh.
And Susan is in your office, right?
Mhm.
Down the hall from kindergartners, right?
Yep.
I've
literally in the same part of the building. Both of us are in the basement. And we're at the very end of the hall. There is one window that looks from the hallway directly at my desk. That's a sliding window.
Yeah.
So it's very important, especially for me,
Yeah.
to hide. There's windows to the outside, but you can't get those windows open because they've been painted shut. And there's 2 sets of the windows. So even if they weren't painted shut, you would have to open 2 sets of windows in order to be able to get out of them. Hardly seems like it was a good idea, but you know.
I mentioned this whenever we first started the stream, but Russ, frustrated atheist, had asked us when he saw that we had the Lego Millennium Falcon, the one that's like 30 pounds. It weighs as much and is larger than the corgis.
Sure.
And we have we have an hour of time lapse of putting it together, and that's like from step 7 to step 17, 18, so you don't get to see the entire thing. And it's an hour long, and could never really had up to this point figure out what we're going to put for the background audio while it was playing, because I mean it's just an hour of near. And so started, as I mentioned earlier, started writing a script for it today. Susan has heard the first couple paragraphs of it, and I have to make it an hour long.
Yes, you do.
And it has to do with some of this stuff. It doesn't exactly Baron, I'll answer that question in a second. It doesn't exactly have to do with this necessarily, but it is very related, because it has to do with some reasoning, and why saying mental health is not the answer. It's an excuse to do nothing. Because as I understand it, and Susan and I are not, we have no degree in any fields of psychology or psychiatry or anything like that. But as far as I know, racism is taught. It is not mental health. Hate and bigotry are taught. Baron Kraken asks a really good question. Why can't Biden just ban assault ban assault rifles like Reagan banned automatic weapons? Because they're not black people. Let me know if you heard that. She wasn't listening. Did you miss it?
I did miss it, just barely, because I turned it on Twitch. Oh no, wait. Where am I listening? Oh, I'm listening on YouTube. Hold on, let me go back.
See? She got distracted already. That's hurting my feelings. Hurting my feelings. Oh, you saw the other screen of the that's over here. But did anybody? I whispered the reason into the microphone. Did anybody hear me with the reason? Because I just want to make sure that it's loud and clear, but I'm whispering it. Okay. I'm just making sure that okay. So yes, they heard it.
Okay.
Okay, good. In case in case you didn't hear it and or just showed up, it's because they're not black. The reason that Ronald Reagan forced a ban of assault weapons was because the Black Panthers went to Sacramento with their assault weapons and stood on the fucking steps of the state capitol. Yeah. I am fully, and we talked about this earlier, Susan and I, completely in favor, completely in favor of, because one of the reasons that uh, uh, um, that it's sometimes difficult to get a gun is because some of them are prohibitively expensive. Don't think that they don't do that on purpose. And I am in favor of helping every single black man in America get an AR-15. Mm-hmm. I am. And even with like, if we have to do like fundraising and donations and stuff like that, start an organization that, helps black men to get AR-15s. 100%. And then all that you have to do is walk down the street. I can see why. Or go to Washington, have March on Washington. make it like January 6th, but legal. But here's the thing. We can't ask black men to do that. Because black men are already targeted by the police. They don't need a gun. And we can't expect black men to fix the problem that we created and that we not only allow to happen, but seemingly don't care to change. It's like white supremacy in this country. We can't ask black people to fix white supremacy. We have to. We have to do it ourselves. We can't, like the young lady in Indiana the other day who came forward at the church. We have to, and talked about the grooming and sexual assault put upon her when she was 16. Our response to something like that shouldn't be what happened. Okay, first off, the assault part, yes. But the response shouldn't be the church coming up and praying with the predatory pastor. The response should be helping the victim and then changing things without requiring or requesting or demanding answers from a victim. That, if you don't think that these are two sides of the same coin. Who is affected most by sexual assault? Who is affected most by gun deaths? Who is affected most by the police? Who is affected most by systemic inequality? Who is this? Who is the wage gap? Who is affected most with healthcare? Who is affected most when it comes to maternal access to healthcare? Who is affected most when it comes to food deserts? We can't look at that like this and say, well, let's focus on something else that has no relation to it. Look at a food desert and say, well, they can just go down the road. That's not an answer. That's not a solution. It's how do we bring food to them? How do we give them access to food? How do we make food free? Can we consider that in the future? That would be great. Can we make food free? You think that's possible?
I think so.
Yeah. If you think that a person stealing food is not bad, then food should be free. Food free. Done. It's the same thing here. How much would it cost? How much would it cost America to do a gun buyback? Pick your gun. How much would it cost? FYI, the answer is a surplus in dollars. We would have a surplus in dollars that I imagine we would then give to the military. Because, the Department of Defense needs money for all of the times we're getting invaded. Just saying. The Warriors won.
Maybe the match.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That a gun buyback, God, F-35s. Not only that, but a gun buyback would actually work, unlike an F-35. Now, mind you, a gun buyback of something like an AR-15 is just the beginning. That's the thing, because we do have, and this is something that's true, a lot of people that I know that Russ, you and Baron Kraken and I think X, I think that all of you served in the military. And if I'm wrong, please let me know. People that people like over how long has it been? Okay. It's been more than a decade now. My real quick, Gary lives in Australia. And before somebody says that I just doxed Gary, Australia is a big place. More than 10 years ago, I found out he's doxing himself. I found out that a guy that I graduated with, his name is Chuck Myers. We were in theater together and everything. Found out that he killed himself. And it was the first time that I had heard that anybody that came back did that, like chose to do that, because he and I went to the military, I think around the same time. We didn't serve together, but we were in around the same time. And he shot himself. And that was the people that I served with that, you know, that yeah, but back here, this was the first time. And there's a point to this. And then it was another person and somebody else. And over and over and over again. And I'm not okay. I don't know how long it has been since it last happened. But Susan can tell you that there's times that I wake up in the middle of the night and I don't know where I am, and I see things and I see people and I see people that are dead. And that pain, it doesn't go away. It doesn't stop. Like you hear things and you see things, and there's a reason that I won't have a gun, and there's just like it doesn't stop. And so many people that don't get help from the government that sent them to die, take their own lives. And you know what? Here's something that is just flippant. That's just like that. I just hear it. And I have to stop when I hear it because I can't say anything because I know what I'm going to say. And I can't. They'll remind us as if we need reminders. Most gun deaths are suicide. Which includes most gun deaths by veterans, or most deaths by veteran that are suicide. And then they want to tell me. Do we have an issue with mental health in this country? Yeah, we do. It's our fucking country's fault. But we have it. But let me just clear the fucking air with this. Mental health doesn't cause a person to be a fucking Nazi. I have when I don't when I take a day or two off of my medicine, I am not the same person. And I have to apologize to Susan all the time for it. But I've never turned into a Nazi. I've never wanted to kill children. So don't fucking tell me this is about mental health. Do not. Do not. Because it's not. It's not. It's not. Because they look at me. It is a gun. There is you remember what's his name? Uh American Sniper. What the fuck's his name?
Chris Kyle.
Chris Kyle. Remember him? That lion fuck?
Yeah, fuck that.
The guy who bragged about shooting children. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't mental health. That's not mental health. Remember, still just last Saturday, when the kid, I'm sorry, let me back up a little bit. When the white supremacist walked into a supermarket and targeted Black people. That's not mental health. They also tried to say that. Well, no, actually, they didn't. Because they realized that after Columbine, you can't just say video games. You can't just say that they were bullied. You can't just say that they were looking for the jocks. You can't just say Marilyn Manson partially because he doesn't have any music out right now. But anybody like that, you can't blame it on the rap music. So they learned that they can't do that. And so now they just say mental health. He's it, I just is was it too much mental health that caused the cops to not do anything? Is that what it was? Because I'm just is that what it was, Susan? Did they have too much mental health?
Apparently so.
I'm thinking that's got to be what it was. They had access to too many doctors, too many psychiatrists, too many psychologists. Right? Got to be what it is. I guess their guns needed mental health checkups before they could be used. Still need more product in my mustache, by the way. It's not working out. It's not working out. I really do.
Did you not put any in?
Yes. Yeah, it's still pretty well trained.
Yeah.
But it's not, it doesn't look as amazing as usual. Yeah. FYI, and X can tell you while it's written like in jest, it's not a joke. I think that's enough, right? That's good.
Yeah. Love you.
I love you. And I say that to her, but also all of you guys.
Obi-Wan's out.
Obi-Wan's out.
Obi-Wan's out.
Not for conservatives.
No, not for conservatives. But it is for us.
Yeah, it's for us. I say it's for us. I guess you too, Russ.
Also for us.
If you are a conservative, we know that you cannot watch anything that is Star Wars or obviously Disney or Marvel. We knew we knew that you would hate Ms. Marvel.
What? It dropped like 4 minutes ago. X.
Yeah, X. We get it at 9:00. It's good for you. We knew that Ms. Marvel wasn't going to go over well, and now apparently there is representation.
Oh my gosh!
Of women. First off, what's that all about? And also Pakistanis.
What's the deal with women?
Yeah, and so apparently showing women and Pakistanis and others with inside of a comic book show that is about the first Muslim superhero. Showing Muslim women is apparently bad.
Gasp.
SJMWs, social justice Muslim warriors. It's not out yet, Russ. It comes out June 2nd or something. I think you want to go watch an episode, Love?
Yeah, I want to watch both the episodes.
Oh, there's 2 of them. We watched the best of Enemies last night. Right? That was what it was?
Yep.
It's not bad. God, Sam Rockwell plays an amazing racist. Really does. The guy is, again, I recommend watching 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. It's very good. He's in it too. He's also a racist in that one. So,
you know where he's not racist?
No. Where?
Hitchhikers.
Oh, yeah. He's in that. His character dies in like the next book. Do you know that? He becomes like the king or whatever, and he dies.
He's like president of the world in Hitchhikers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've heard it at the Banner of Heaven's really good.
I have to watch that.
Yeah, because that's the Mormon one.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Uncle Mark was talking about that a while back.
Yeah. Which version of Minecraft is it? Do you remember what he said? No.
I don't think he said. I think it.
I thought he did.
Wait, yes he did. Hold on. Let me find it.
Trust from someone who lives in Utah. I saw you guys are changing.
Bedrock Edition for Windows.
Thank you. I saw that you guys are changing your flag. Good. Get the tabernacle off. No, I'm just kidding. The honeybee thing's pretty cool. What it has to do with is funnier.
Honeybee is a Tom Petty song.
Over it's about Utah.
I know, but still, I can
The
relate
Bedrock.
everything to Tom Petty.
Yeah, I know. If I'll say one last thing here before yep, there it is. Good old Deseret. One quick thing here, because I think it's important to know, because I had to do this earlier today and I've had to do it a little bit recently, but this one is very specific as to the conversations that are happening right now. I think I would say, yeah, and they took all the land away too. I saw that. I think that I am, and I think that if you follow me on Twitter, you'll agree that I am fairly prolific.
Yes.
And that I also have the quips.
You also have the arguments.
And the arguments, and I bring them facts and them receipts and all that, right?
Yeah.
And I'm good at it.
Yeah.
There are times when it is not just okay, but recommended to take a break. When you feel yourself becoming so emotionally involved in something that you are saying things irrationally, you might be right. Put it down. There you go. Reason taking a month from Utah Outcast. Yeah. There are times that it is necessary. Your mental health matters. Also, tell your conservative friends to sue Twitter because they can't see the former president on Twitter. Tell them to sue Twitter for like 500 million. I want to see where that goes. Texas House Bill 30, 35?
It was 21.
Whatever. I don't know.
21.
It was signed into law. It was signed into law. So tell your conservative friends to do that. Tell your conservative friends to put it back on Twitter. I just want to see how far that goes. The spectacle will be fun to watch because it's like, yeah, no. And also, if you want, get a VPN and put yourself in Texas, and then you do your own lawsuit and tell them that they're making it so that you can't see all of the tweets from the people that you want to see. Or if you're Russ, you do that. I just want to see it. I just want to see what happens. All right, we're gonna go watch Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
And as I said on YouTube, this is unfortunately conservatives aren't going to be able to see this one. You think the joke like landed? You think it worked?
Like a TIE fighter.
What? No, they don't land. They crash.
That's the point.
No. Yeah, I figured that out whenever I said, okay. Thanks for listening, and hopefully we'll have some like produced content the next time that we see you folks. Hopefully. I'm off work tomorrow. I guess we'll see. Am I off work tomorrow?
Yes.
I'm off work tomorrow.
I'm not. I'm off work for the next 3 days, or 3 days after that.
Memorial. You gonna do a barbecue and remember the troops?
I'm gonna sleep.
Nice. I'll have a live stream. Yeah, I know. I just live streams have destroyed me because I just see people just sitting around and bullshitting about literally nothing. And if I wanted to do that, I'd be an old person and I'd go down to the local diner and be like, "Hey, I don't know why I didn't get 3 tomatoes today.
That's why Twitch is better than YouTube.
Thanks, Obama."